I used to quit on myself a lot because when times get hard, the first thing I did was just walk away from the grind. I didn't understand me walking away from the grind was me quitting on myself because I went to something new. Yet oftentimes new isn't great because I haven't mastered what I was doing. When I learned that me quitting on myself is me staying in the same place as me staying and not evolving in the way that I know I can change, it made me learn that I need to learn more about why I'm quitting on myself. I started to quit on myself when things got hard. I started to quit on myself when things wasn't going my way. I started to quit on myself when I saw no results. And yet the results was coming from consistency. However, I didn't have consistency because the results didn't come quick enough when I wanted them to be presented. See, here's the thing about life and how it's so rewarding. We have to be able to learn from our mistakes in order to recognize that your mistakes is forcing you to quit because you haven't learned what you need to do in order to become it. I haven't learned it because I need to learn more to understand what this process is, what this journey is, what this lesson that I'm learning even is. See, oftentimes us quitting on ourselves and not knowing the lessons and the experiences getting built over time. I can't quit when I start today because I'm learning more how to be consistent. I'm learning how to give effort. I'm learning how to not be so hard on myself. Yet me quitting on myself is me pushing all them lessons that's here right in front of me today. I never understood that the lessons that's here for me today will help me in my future. And my future is getting developed because I'm learning not to quit on myself. What's going on, everybody? My name is Terryl Humphrey. Welcome to another episode of Failure is Knowledge. Here at Failure is Knowledge, we talk about growth in life and how we're becoming the best version of ourselves. For today's episode, it's going to be speaking about stop quitting on yourself. We have to stop quitting on ourselves to grow into our success. And before I dive in on the topic, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like, and wait till the end and leave a comment on how this is going to be, how this was impactful for you. So the first point I want to hit on is shift mindset. To be honest, I never understood what shifting my mindset was until I published my book. No pun intended, but to master your mind, 10 tips to shift your mindset came from when I started working with a publisher. When I started working with someone that can help me edit what I had in my mind. And see, it taught me that even though I didn't understand what I was getting myself into, I had to shift what I was thinking about myself. I had to change and evolve and grow into the success when the success wasn't in front of me. I didn't understand. Yes, I needed to give effort every single day to complete this book, but the book was only completed when I put action towards it. And I was so used to quitting because it wasn't going like I expected it to go. Because it took a lot. And honestly, when I thought about doing it in July, I stopped. Day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. I kept quitting on myself. I kept quitting on the journey because I didn't believe what was going to come from this. And I tried to do it myself. I didn't understand me trying to do it myself was destroying my confidence because no results was coming. Even though the results didn't come, I still was trying to learn. I still was trying to understand. I still was trying to gain the knowledge that can help me become better, that can help me prepare for something I wasn't prepared for. And when I started working with the publisher that helped me with the book, Noah Publishing House, and shout out to Noah Publishing House, she taught me that my story mattered because my story is in the book now. My story is in the book now just because of how much I didn't quit on myself. Even though I wanted to quit, even though the days were long, even though I had so many excuses, the excuses was just me not being fully committed. I wasn't committed because I was used to quitting on myself. And once I quit on myself, I understood it's the easy route to go. Me taking the easy route is throwing in the towel and saying, I don't want to do this no more, so I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it no more. Me saying I don't want to do this more is me quitting on my journey, is me quitting on myself. I didn't understand the power of quitting on yourself when I started doing it. The book got published because I had somebody hold me accountable. I didn't understand accountability was really somebody just saying, okay, hey, listen, we're going to do this today. And as we're doing it today, you're going to focus on this one thing. It showed me that focus came from me learning how to be consistent. And me learning how to be consistent gave me the patience for the success to come from this. And as it taught me patience, it showed me like, oh, okay, I'm quitting too soon. Maybe I need to shift my mindset to learn that success doesn't happen overnight. Success happens when you put effort into yourself. Success happens when you put effort for yourself. Success happens when we don't quit on ourselves. And see, that's the thing about life. When we quit on ourselves, we're missing the lessons that's here right in front of us. The lessons that's here right in front of us is preparing us to grow into our journey. See, our journey is here because it's teaching us and showing us that we can do anything that we put our mind to. Our mind is so limited because we're not thinking big enough. I wasn't thinking big enough, and it showed me when I learned more about myself, when I learned more about my story, when I learned more about effort, my effort displayed my consistency. Because I no longer was quitting on myself when I didn't see the results tomorrow, when I didn't see the results next week, when I didn't see the results next month. See, oftentimes your results has to be paused. Your results has to be on pause before you can even understand what you're about to achieve. And as I understood, I had to really wait for the success. Really had to be consistent. I really have to remain patient with the journey because the journey is making me grow into the person that can handle it. I didn't understand as I'm learning about this, I have to stop quitting on myself, because the more I quit, the less lessons I learn. The more I quit, the less growth I develop. The more I quit, the more time I'm wasting. The more time I'm wasting. Why? Because time is of the essence. Time is only an illusion. Time only works in our favor if we force it to. See, we can waste time by starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping. What are we really completing? What are we really completing? I didn't have to learn. Me starting and stopping was me quitting on myself. And once I quit on myself, then that's when all the excuses came up. I wasn't good enough. Why do I have to do this? My story doesn't matter. That's when I came up with them excuses, and the excuses made me realize that I have to shift the way I was thinking. I have to shift the way I was thinking about myself, about time, about success, because if I had the same mindset, the mindset that I have today, I wouldn't be ready for the success that's coming. Why? Because it takes time to really change your life. It really takes time to change my life. My life can't be changed overnight because I have to put effort every single day. I have to put effort into myself every single day, rather than quitting on the journey. Rather than quitting when times get hard, when times get rough. How can I just pivot from this rather than just stopping? How can I change direction rather than just quitting on myself? I had to learn I need to stop quitting on me. I had to stop quitting on my journey. I had to stop quitting on everything that I was doing, because nothing was rewarding inconsistent behavior. So I had to shift the way I was learning. I had to shift what I was doing. I had to change and grow into understanding the person that can handle this. See, when I learned that the how I was thinking was so small, it showed me that when I think big, I become big. Yet if I remain the same, I stay when I think big, I grow big. Yet if I think small, I remain the same. And it taught me so many more lessons because my mindset started to change and evolve that can handle this success that was coming. The next point I want to hit on is the Mamba mentality. Kobe Bryant was my favorite player, but if you really want to look at the mentality of the Mamba, it was mental toughness. It was mental toughness, and I heard this video. He was talking to somebody, and they asked, "What does Mamba mentality mean?" He said, "Just to be the best version of yourself. You have to be the best version of yourself each and every day." Why? Because if you don't put effort into yourself, why shouldn't this person even care to help? Then when he said that, it really just made me really dive into his story, dive into his journey, dive into everything that he was doing, because he didn't have 5 championships overnight. He had a couple losses. He lost some finals, yet the finals made him the person, the player that he was when he won the championships. And it really showed me. I'm like, oh, okay. Mobile mentality means you're going through life just like everybody else, but how you handling the tough times when they get brought up. I didn't understand that our endurance was premature to our actions. We can't endure the growth because the growth is not within us. The belief is not here because we don't understand what we have to do every single day. One thing about the mumble mentality, the mental toughness, that Kobe believed in himself every single day. Kobe showed up every single day, even when he was hurt. And the reason why he was my favorite player, because I really got hooked on him. I really started learning more about him in the 2010 playoffs against the Celtics. When the Lakers and the Celtics had played the Celtics and they won, because they lost to them, I believe it was either in 2008, because they beat the Magic in 2009. Yep, it was 2008, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a sports analyst. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player because he had that grit. He had that mumble mentality because he was the best version of himself each and every day. And I didn't understand that it's getting built every action that we take because we have to develop in the person that can handle what we're going through. See, our endurance is building because our effort is not stopping. Our endurance is building because our effort is not stopping. Why? Because we're no longer quitting on ourselves. We have to understand that we have to shift what we were saying about ourselves. I'm not good enough. I'm not good at this position. I'm not great enough to have this. Why do I have to do this? Rather than saying, why me, we change the question to why not me? Why can't not I have success? Why can't I grow into my journey? Why can't I fulfill my purpose? Why can't I be in my passion? See, Kobe was in his passion, in his purpose, because he made a decision for his effort every single day. Every single day. And the mobile mentality, he showed it and he represented it. It wasn't just a name, it wasn't just a slogan, it wasn't just a logo. It was him living his everyday life. Mumble mentality is saying, I'm going to be the best version of myself no matter what. I'm going to be the best version when tough times get here. I'm still going to give effort. I'm still going to give 110% when I only have 50% to give. Why? Because you have the mumble mentality. You have the endurance to push through adversity, because adversity does not stop happening. We just handle it and control it in a different manner. What's this different manner? When we shift the way we think about ourselves. And now we're understanding that we can handle everything that we put our minds to. See, our mind is the most powerful tool that we have on our body, because when we think something, we become this thought. And when we think what we can become, what we become is so much easier. Why? Because all we have to do is just take action. All we have to do is just be consistent. All we have to do is just develop some type of endurance that can push us when adversity and hard times get presented. The mumble mentality is saying I could be the best version of myself. When I heard that, I understood. I'm like, oh, that them two words got so much meaning. Then I really start to learn and look at myself, look at my brand, look at everything that I was doing. What does fair use knowledge mean? To be the best version of yourself when you fail. To be the best version of yourself when you have hard times. To be the best version of yourself when adversity is knocking you down. So it means the same thing, but it's just different wording. It's just different wording, not different meaning. Different wording, not different meaning, because you have to be the best version of yourself each and every day. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's what it means. That's what your slogan and mumble mentality mean. To be the best version of yourself. I said that's what failure is knowledge means too. To be the best version of yourself when the best version of yourself is not present. Why? Because we have to force that out of us. We have to force our best to be our effort. Our effort get displayed when we're not quitting on ourselves. I had to stop quitting on myself and learn how to be consistent with the journey. I had to learn how to be consistent with myself. I had to learn how to be consistent with my actions. Because the way I thought, I became. As I'm becoming this thought is making me the person that can handle the success that's coming. Why? Because I'm no longer quitting on myself. That mumble mentality is being developed because I'm becoming the best version of myself. See, failure's knowledge is saying I have to fail to gain the knowledge, but as I'm gaining the knowledge, I'm becoming the best version of myself. And they go hands in hand, because if you're not willing to fail, how can you learn? One thing about Kobe that he was willing to fail. He was willing to fail multiple times, but he didn't let the failure stop him. Because he had that endurance. He had that belief. He saw that he can become more. He became more because he thought it. The mind is the most powerful thing that we have on our body, because we have to think before we see, and we have to see before we do. Because it starts with the power of thought. It starts with the power of thought because it's so strong, we can become anything that we think. If we think big, we become big. Yet if we think small, we remain the same. There's a lesson behind the journey that we have to go through every single day to become this person that can handle and build the endurance for the success that we want to have. For the success that we want to have. And before I get to the next point, there's a webinar coming up this Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's a webinar to help you repurpose your pain into your passion. See, we all have passion, but our pain prevents our passion from being displayed because we don't know how to heal from what we have been through. See, this webinar is showing you, okay, yeah, we start from the past to understand that our passion has always been in us, but this is how. The link will be in the description below. In the description, make sure you click that link, register, sign up, and I'll see you there. The last point I want to hit on is that consistency and work ethic. It get developed when we don't quit on ourselves. That's the last one and why it's so important. I can't be consistent if I'm constantly quitting on myself. Here's why that's so important. I can't be consistent if I'm constantly quitting on myself because my work ethic is not being developed. How can I do something one day and be so great at it, then quit the next day because it was so hard? How can I be so great at one thing, and then as I'm great at one thing, I quit before I even get better? See, that's what I had to learn. I really had to dive into myself to say, I need to stop quitting on myself, because as I'm quitting on myself, I can't see the results that I want to see. The results not in front of me because I'm quitting every time it get hard. Every time some adversity come, I throw in the towel. Why? Because the towel is the easy thing to do. Me walking away is so easy. Me starting a new idea is so greater than the one I've been working on. And it taught me that even though I'm working on something over here, I can still be working on myself, because that's the same mindset I need to have in order to develop the Mamba mentality. And once I have the Mamba mentality, I understand why failure's knowledge is actually key. Because you have to be able to endure the pain that's coming to you. You have to be able to endure the failure that you are going to experience. You have to be able to endure the time and effort that you are going to put in within yourself. See, consistency and work ethic gets developed because we have to believe what we're doing today is not going to show and reward us tomorrow. It's not going to reward us when we are ready. It's going to reward us when we least expect it. Why? Because your consistency pays off. You being consistent within yourself is developing your work ethic that you have, and your work ethic that you have is showing you that you are doing the right thing. Yet we don't think we're doing the right thing because nothing is coming from this. How can it come from when we keep quitting? How can something come from our journey, from our passion, from our purpose, if we are constantly quitting on ourselves? One thing I've learned, I learned about Kobe Bryant is that he didn't quit on himself. When times get hard, when he went through the injury, when he went through tough times made him because he didn't quit on himself. He already had the work ethic. He already was consistent with his journey. And it showed him that he became more than he ever thought. Here's the thing. I watched this Olympic. The Olympic on Netflix. Phenomenal video. And when I watched it, it was so powerful because prior years to Kobe Bryant getting on the USA team, on the Olympic team, they lost. They lost the finals. They got bronze. They didn't get gold, but they lost. If I'm not mistaken, I went to multiple. I'm not going to know the exact number. I believe between three to six. They went to multiple Olympic games, Olympic finals, but they lost. The moment Kobe Bryant came, That's when they began to change and shift what they was thinking about themselves. Because not only was they not thinking, did they have to change what they thought about themselves, they had to change what they thought about the team. Kobe Bryant came and he demanded change. Why? Because he demanded change in himself. That Mamba mentality, it get carried every single day. That mindset is with you every single day. And every single day it's rewarding you to show you that you are on the right path. And when he got on the team structure was a little bit different because he demanded the best out of himself. So why shouldn't he demand the best from everybody else? See, that's what happens when you understand yourself. That's what happens when you understand your journey. That's what happens when you understand your process. You have to be consistent because your consistency is developing your work ethic. Your work ethic is this plan. Yeah, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off when I need it to. When it's time rather than when I want it to. See, that's what the journey teaches us. It teaches us how to be patient with the journey. See, the journey is so rewarding, so fulfilling. We just have to endure the pain, endure the adversity, endure the tough times to overcome that, to become the best version of ourselves. See, the best version is being developed every time we make our mind up. The best version is being discovered every time we believe. The best version of ourselves is showing that we can do anything that we put our mind to. See, that's why it's so important to stop quitting on ourselves, because you can't run away from adversity. You can't run away from tough times. You can't run away from things not going your way, because it's not going to go your way unless you understand why it didn't go your way. I had to understand it didn't go my way because I kept quitting. I kept quitting along the journey. So why would it go my way? Why would it go my way? I can't expect success when success not in my mind first. I have to think it before it's in my face. I have to have the thought of success before success is in front of me. Why? Because I'm becoming the best version of myself every single day. Life is a journey, but we decide to go on the ride because we believe in ourselves. We believe in time, and we're developing our skills. And once we develop our skills, our mindset is shifting. Our mindset is shifting because we can understand and believe what we can walk into. Right? As our mindset are shifting, as our mindset is shifting, we have to develop the Mamba mentality, the mental toughness to push through times when times are not in our best interest. Why? Because you are building your endurance to handle and control everything that's coming towards you. And as we're building the mental toughness, we have to understand that consistency and work ethic comes from effort. And as it's coming from effort, we can't quit on ourselves, because if we quit on ourselves, we quit on a journey. We're not just quitting on ourselves. We quitting on a journey, on the time, and everybody that's around us. Because we're constantly stopping. We're constantly starting. We're constantly starting and stopping. Constantly stopping and starting. It's a pattern. Even though it's a pattern, it can be broken. That's the key to life. That's what we have to learn, that the journey is going to reward you when you are consistent with your action. If you got value from this and you stayed it to the end, in the description below, it's a workbook that's called 10 ways to start and help you learn more about your journey and learn more about your story. But it's to help you get more clear with it. In the description below, it's going to be a link down there. Click that link and you get the free workbook, and you can fill it out, learn more about yourself, and be more clear on everything that you're doing. If you got value from this and really enjoyed it, leave a comment on how you are going to stop quitting on yourself, how you are going to stop quitting on your journey, how you are going to build your endurance to handle everything that you have to face. If you want to watch more videos about personal development, click this video right here, whichever or click that video for more videos on how we are becoming the best version of ourselves.